Okay, so today we will cover chapter 6, which is algebraic techniques. All right. And also, basically, let's look at the learning outcomes. So by the end of this chapter, you should be able to convert word problems into algebra problems, meaning whatever worded problems, you should be able to convert it into equations and solve algebraic real life problems. So meaning they will give you a real life solution or a situation and you need to give the equation, all right, of which I will teach you how to actually look at it. So if they tell you 2 times more, 3 times more, what does it mean? If you say 2 or 3 times more, it's 2x or 3x. If they say 3 more or 4 more, then it's x plus 2 or x plus 4, or 5 less is x minus 5, that sort of thing. All right. So let's look at example 1. What number increased by 6 gives 18 as a result? So when I'm increasing by 6, what does it mean? X, what number is your unknown? So x plus 6 is 18, x is 12. The product of two numbers is 85. What is product multiplication? So 5 times y is 85. You can use x, y, whatever unknown that you like. One is 5, find the other. So 5y is equals to 85. Y will be 17. 15 exceed a certain number by 6. What is the number? So 15 minus x is 6. X is equal to 9. All right. Moving on. 2/3 of a number. 2/3 of a number is equal to, you just follow the language. So 2 over 3x equals to 20. You find the unknown. Okay, you will see these equations many times from now. You will see this phrase. It takes 9 times as much steel as nickel to make stainless steel. All right. If 81 tons of steel is used in constructing a bridge, how many tons of nickel is needed? So now, if the statement was, it is x times as much A as B, we're going to follow ratio. What is said first to the left, what is said second to the right. The how many times goes on the right. You understand? Follow ratio. What is said first to the left, what is said second to the right. The how many times goes on the right. So steel said first, that's why it goes to the left. Nickel is said second, it goes to the right. 9 times is here. That's why it's S equals to 9N. So I want you to remember this and follow this way, because as we go to chapter 8, you will see many of these phrases. And if you actually understand it wrongly, you will get everything wrong. So 9 times as much steel as nickel, we will follow ratio. What is said first to the left? Steel. What is said second to the right? Nickel. How many times? 9. So S equals to 9N. Okay, then you solve it to find N, you will get 9 tons. All right, so if it's addition, let's say you need to add, the keywords are these: sum, plus, added, more than, increase by, total. If it's, you're going to minus, it's subtraction, difference, minus, subtracted from, less than, decrease by, less. If it's multiplication, you will see product, times, multiply, twice, of, double. Division, quotient. Quotient is also division. Divided by, into, or per. If it's equivalent, you will see all these words. Equals, gives, yields, amounts to, is equal to. So you need to memorize this. All right. You must know what it means. So let's look at some examples. 5 times a number is 20. So 5x is equal to 20. The sum of a number and negative 5. So what is sum plus, right? So x plus negative 5 yields, that means equal to 14. 10 subtracted from a number, that means 10 minus a number is equal to negative 23. So then you solve the equation. So just follow the language of the question. 5 times, when it's 5 times, it's 5x. A number added to 7 is equivalent to negative 8. The quotient, what's quotient? Division of 6 and the sum of a number, the sum of a number and 4. Do you see x plus 4 is equal to 1. 9 more than a number is 5. 9 more than a number is 5. Then you just solve to find x. The quotient, what's quotient? Division of 8 and twice a number, meaning 8 divided by 2x is 2. Then you solve for that equation. So if they say 2 times more, 3 times more, then you just it's 5x, 3x, 2x. If it's less, you minus and plus. Less and more, you minus and plus. So now I will go through the questions in the manual, all right? So we'll change screen for a while. So let's look at exercise 6.1. I'll go through the questions. There are about 79 questions here. I'll just go through those that are complicated, all right? 40% of 80 is what number? All right, find 15% of 60. So these are quite simple, all right? 8 is what percent of 4? So you're basically going to find what, it'll be 200%, right? Okay, what percent of 40 is 5? So you're basically going to find 40 times how many percent equals to 5. All right, so that shouldn't be a problem. Question 7, they have given you two equations, one for men, one for women. So all you have to do is, if Tyrone will be a man, wears a size 11 shoe. So if the size is 11, they want to find L. So you use this man equation, substitute the S equals to 11 and find the length. Maria should be a girl. So Maria, what do? You substitute the woman's equation with 7 and you find the length. Sam size 7 fits Sue perfectly. So Sam size 7, that means Sam is a boy, a size 7 fits Sue perfectly. So what size of women's tennis shoe does Sue wear? So first of all, you need to find the length of Sue's feet. So how to find the length of Sue's feet? You put 7 into the men's equation first. Find the length. So that would be the length of Sue's feet. Then you take that length and substitute into the women's equation to find the size. All right. The largest shoes ever sold were a pair of size 42 shoes made for the giant Harley Davidson of Avon Park, Florida. How long is his foot? So you substitute 42 into the man equation and you find the length. So that's not a problem. Okay. How long a foot requires a 14 size shoe for men? So you substitute the 14 here and find the length. Okay. How long is your foot? So now this one, it's constantly a problem. How long is your foot when your shoe size is the same as the length of your foot? So now if you're a man, then what are they saying is when your size is equivalent to your length, that means S is equal to L. Meaning now you're only left with one unknown. S is equal to 3S minus 22. Why I put S again here? Because what did we say here? S is equal to L. That means for this equation now, we have to do both. For men first, S is equal to L, right? Okay, so when S is equal to L, you will have only one unknown, meaning now the L is also S. Okay, then you solve it to find S. So for men, when your size and your length is the same, it is a size 11. That means your length of your foot will also be 11 inches. Your size will also be 11. Okay? All right. So you do the same thing for women's equation here. S equals to 3S minus 22 and you find S. All right. So all these should be quite simple. All of them are quite direct. I'll go through 17. The parking cost at a citywide garage is C equals to 1 plus 0.75 H minus 1. Where H is the number of hours you park and C is the cost. When is the cost less than 100? So don't worry when it's less than like that. You just substitute the cost with 100 first. Equals to 1 plus 0.75 bracket H minus 1. You solve for H. You will get H is equal to 133. So now they want the cost less than 100, right? So your H must also be less than 133 hours. All right. So all these are also quite direct. Let's look at this. There is a 3-degree drop in temperature for every 1,000 feet. Okay, so if the temperature on the ground is 50 degrees, what will be the temperature when the plane reaches an altitude of 24,000? So first you take 24,000 divide 1,000 to see how many times do you need to basically decrease the temperature. So it's 24 times. And every 1,000 is a 3-degree drop, right? So I multiply it with -3. Why -3? 3-degree drop. Reduced by 3. So you will get -72. Then the ground temperature is 50. You just take 50 plus -52. You will get -22. Why 50? Because it started off at 50 degrees Celsius. All right. Okay, so all these are also quite simple. Number 31, an unmanned submarine descends to 150 and takes the first sample. So he goes down to 150, he takes a water sample. First sample is taken. As it goes deeper, continues to go deeper, it takes a water sample every 25 feet. What is his depth when he takes the 15th sample? So this is the first sample taken. So the next 14 samples, you take 25 times 14, you will get 500. Okay, so the depth would be at 500 feet. All right. A discount store found 174 items were lost to shoplifting. The total loss was 4176. What was the average loss? So when you ask for average, you just divide. So not so difficult. All these are quite all right. This one, you just fill up the profit or loss. How to find profit or loss? Income minus expenses. If it's negative, it's a loss. If it's positive, it's a profit. Okay, so all these are quite direct as we go along. Okay, the best linguist of all times is the Cardinal Gizet, who can translate 186 languages and dialects. He can translate 42 more languages than dialects. So this is how we're going to do it. Language plus dialect is 186, correct? In total, he can basically translate 186 languages and dialects. He can translate 42 more languages. So language is X plus 42. Because language is 42 more. Don't go and use two unknowns. You use two unknowns, you cannot solve the problem. If they are saying it's 42 more, it's just X plus 42. If they say 42 times more, it's 42X. So never use two unknowns. Only one unknown. When they say more and less is the one unknown, either you plus or minus. If it's times, then you just 3X or 4X. How many dialects he can translate? So language is X plus 42, dialect is X. So you're going to solve, you basically want to find X, huh? All right. 11 more than twice a number. I've gone through this with you. All right. When 75 is subtracted from 4 times Tammuz age, that means 75 minus 4x is Tammuz age. So find Tammuz age. She's 15 years old. Okay. Jason paid 5 times as much for his computer as he did for his printer. He paid a total of 1320 for both items. What is the cost of each item? Okay, so computer he paid 5 times. Printer he paid 1 time. So then you solve and find what it is for each item. Okay, so it shouldn't be solved for X. So one will be the price of that and the other one will be 5 times more. Okay, so I'm just going through the questions that are complicated. Okay, the rest if you're not sure, just ask. 149,000 estate is to be divided into 2 charities. So one receives 18,000 less than the other. So students usually take, oh, X plus Y is equals to 100. That's wrong. Don't use 2 unknowns. Only use 1 unknown. If one is X, what should be the other one? X minus 18,000. Why minus 18,000? Because one is 18,000 less than the other. Okay, so one is X and one is X minus 18,000. You solve to find X. So X will be one charity's value. The other charity, you just minus 18,000, you will get the value. All right. Okay, same thing here. A board is 78 cm long. Rosa cuts the board into 2 pieces. One piece 10 cm longer than the other. So how do you do this? Same thing. All right, a board is 70 cm long. So you are cutting it into 2 pieces. So you have X plus one piece is 10 cm longer than the other. So the other one is X plus 10 equal to 78. So you are going to solve to find the length of both pieces. So you find X first. So when you solve to find X, it's 2X plus 10 equals to 68, right? Then you solve to find X. Once you find X, the other one you just plus 10. All right. So same thing for all the rest. The last one here is quite simple. Use the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle. So they've given you the formula. All you have to do is substitute inside. The perimeter of a rectangle is 48 yards. So they're telling you P is equal to 48. That means here is 48. The width is 5 yards. So W is 5. So you just solve and find L for me. Okay, I'll just show you the working here. So 48 equal to 2L plus 2 times 5. Then you solve and find the L. That shouldn't be a problem. A rectangular dog pen length is twice as long as its width. So what are they saying? The length is twice as long as the width. So the length is 2 and the width is 1. The perimeter is 36. So same thing, we are going to substitute into the equation. 36 equal to, what are they saying here? The length is twice as long as its width. So 2L plus the width is what? All right, the length is twice as long as its width. So the length is 2L. So inside here you will substitute 2L. And here you will only substitute L. just use one unknown when it comes to this. So you can find the length first, then you substitute and find the width. Understand? All right. So you do the same thing for this. The length of a rectangular jewelry box is 3 inches more than twice the width. So what is 3 inches more than twice the width? The length is equal to 3 inches more than twice the width. This is what it means. Twice the width plus 3. So meaning the L, what you're going to do now is you're going to substitute this with 2W plus 3. So inside here, you're going to substitute with 2W plus 3. Understand? Okay, so, okay, I'll just show you. So how to find the perimeter equals to, so what is L? 2W plus 3. So now you're going to solve and find W for me. Okay? So the perimeter is 36. They've already given you 36. So you just substitute with 36. Now you're going to solve and find W for me. Okay? So that shouldn't really be a problem. You should be able to get it done. Alright? The length of a rectangle is 27 cm. And the perimeter is 74. So this is easy. They're already telling you the length is 27. So this is 27. Perimeter is 74. You solve and find the W for me. Alright? A new city park has a rectangular shape. The length is triple the width. So what are they telling you here? Length is 3 times the width. It will take 240 yards of fencing to go around the park, meaning this is your perimeter. That means you're going around the park 240. Find the length and width. So what are you saying here? Let's write it down for you. So the perimeter is 240 yards. Okay, the length is 3 times the width. So you substitute, the L is 3W. So you can solve and find the width for me. Then you substitute and find the length. All okay there? The perimeter of a rectangle house, so 122. So 122 is equal to the width. Let's check this out now. The width is 5 feet less than the length. So what are they saying? The width is 5 feet less than the length. So how do you come up with this equation? So you come up with this equation and substitute this equation inside here, and you find the length and the width. All right? So just put one thing in mind. The width is 5 feet less than the length. So the width is shorter than the length. All right? So always try to make sense of it and try. So the width must be shorter because it's 5 feet less than the length. So what is the length? Substitute the equation here. So when they're saying shorter is minus. All right, substitute inside here and find the length and width. All right, okay, so let's go back here now. So this is the solutions to the exercises X6.1 all the way to number 79. So basically you will see the solutions also in the back of your manual, so you can do it one by one. So let's go through the past year questions now. An electrician charges 40 per hour for labor. So the cost is hourly charge plus 50 for each house call. That means for the labor charge, the 50 is a standard charge. So write an expression for cost of H work hours for a call. So what are they saying now? C is equal to 40 for each hour plus 50. So whether the person comes for 0 hours or 10 minutes or whatever, you still have to pay 50. 50 is the standard charge. All right, so C equals to 40 for each hour. They already told you here. And they asked you to use C and H, so you have to use C and H. Plus 50 for each house call. Find the cost of an electrical repair which has started at 3:30 and was completed at 5:50 p.m. If the electrician charges in multiples of 30 minutes. What is multiples of 30 minutes? Every 30 minutes. Okay? All right. All right, so now you find first how many minutes. So 3:30 minus 5:50 p.m. you will get 2 hours and 20 minutes. But what's happening here is they are charging in a multiple of 30 minutes. So every 30 minutes there will be a charge. So what does that tell you? The chargeable hours is 2 hours and 30. Why 30 minutes? Because you can't just pay 2 hours. You won't get 20 minutes free. Nobody is going to give you 20 minutes free. So multiples of 30 is either 2 hours, 30 minutes, or 3 hours. So in this case, the most logical one will be 2 hours, 30 minutes, which is 2.5. So you substitute and you get the cost. All right. John is 30 years old. So John is 30 years old. When Alvin asked John for his son's age, Josh's age, John replied, that means John's age, 1/3 of Josh's age, okay, 1/3 of Josh's age plus 3 times his age equals to my age. All right, so 1/3 of Josh's age, okay, plus 3 times his age, do you see that, equal to my age. All right, so basically it's 1/3 y plus 3y, 1/3 of Josh's age, 1/3 of y plus 3y is equal to my age, which is basically 30. All right, then you just solve it for y and you will get 9. So that shouldn't be a problem as well. Just use your calculators for this kind of things. Okay, 1/3 plus 3, you put in the calculator, you will get 10/3. Then y is equal to 30 divide 10/3. All right. All right, so let's see this. Okay, let's make it a little clearer. All right, 45 hours of overtime must be split among 3 workers. We have done this before actually, so this shouldn't be a problem. The second worker will be assigned twice as much hours as the first, and the third will be assigned twice as much hours as the other 2. So how many hours of working time? Okay, so let's see. The easiest way to do this, like the way I taught you, first worker, we have done this before, second worker and third worker. So let's see, the second worker will be assigned twice as much as hours as the first. So the first will be x, you can use ratio for this, will be easy. The second is 2x, the third will be what? Okay, you can do this way as well, but I think using ratio is a faster method. And the third worker will be assigned twice the number of hours of the other 2. So the other 2 altogether is 3x, right? Correct, or x plus 2x is 3x. So twice of that will be 6x. So altogether here you have 9x. We have done this before. So you take 9x divide by 45. You will see x is 5. So that's why you see x is 5 hours. This should be 10 hours. This should be 30 hours. So don't try, if you can use this way, it's faster than actually doing it this way using the equations. All right. Now next one. Fran is a photographer and she decides to create a series of prints of 2 of her original photographs that has been popular sellers. All right. Okay. So let's see if you can see this. Okay, so I think something has happened here. All right. Okay, so what is happening here basically will be, just give me a minute. Let me see. Okay, so one is a seascape and one is a landscape. So let's just call L equals to S is seascape. All right. Let me just put this in red so you can see it more clearly. Okay, so S is seascapes and L is landscape, and let's call P the profit. Fran makes a profit of 50 for each seascape and 60 for each landscape. All right. If Fran would like to make a total profit of 9,000, how much of each should she create? So let's do it one by one. Every number in this question must be used, so highlight everything. Okay. One is a seascape, one is a landscape. Previous experience suggests she sells 20% more seascapes than landscapes. So when you see something like that, always use ratio method. What is said first? Seascapes, put it on the left. What is said second? Landscapes, put it on the right. 20% more, I already told you, when it comes to 20% more, what am I saying? 120%. 30% more is 130%. So 20% more is 120%. What is 120%? 1.2. Okay, so S is equal to 1.2 L, correct? Okay, so you get that right. 20% more means 120%, which is 1.2. So S is equal to 1.2 L. Fran makes a profit of 50 for each seascape. So a profit of 50 for each seascape and 60 for each landscape. So profit is equal to 50S plus 60L. 50 for each seascape and 60 for each landscape. So now, once you get these two equations, you have S equals to 1.2 L, right? You can substitute it inside here. Do you see that? 9,000, which is your profit, equal to 50 times 1.2 L. Why? Because S is equal to 1.2 L plus 60 L. Then you just solve it. You will get L is 75 S is 90. This is a past year question, so you will see many questions like this. All right. Okay, next one. Okay, let's make it a little bigger so you are able to see clearly. Give me a minute. Okay, let's make it into red. Okay, a child's ticket costs half of the adult fare. So now here you write down one by one so you're able to see what's going on. Okay, a child's train ticket costs half of the adult's ticket fare, and reservation fee is the same as a child's ticket on the adult's ticket. When a ticket is reserved, the total price is ticket plus reservation fee. All right, Danny reserved an adult ticket which cost 216. Andrew reserved 2 tickets, 1 adult and 1 child, which cost 321. So let's do it one by one. So you have a child's cost, let's call it C. Adult's cost, let's call it A. And you have reservation, which is C. So let's look at the first part of the question. A child's ticket is half of the adult. So child is equal to 0.5A. That means a child's ticket is half of the adult. So do it one by one. So C is equal to 0.5A. Then Danny, let's start with the first one. Danny reserved an adult ticket which cost 216. Meaning Danny's is adult plus reservation is 216. A plus R equals to 216. Andrew reserved 1 adult, 1 child, plus reservation is 321. So A plus C plus R is 321. So now let's see what is the difference. Reservation cost is the same. That means the R value for both the second and third equation is the same. So what is the difference between these two? The only extra here with Andrew is the child ticket, right? Correct or not? Is the child's ticket. So if I take 321 minus 216 will be the child's cost, right? Correct or not? So let's do it here. 321 minus 216 will give you 105. So a child's ticket will be 321 minus 216. Why 321? Because the difference between Andrew and Danny's reservation is that extra child ticket. All right. What is the cost of an adult's ticket? So once you know what is a child's ticket, which is 105, you know C is 105. What is that? Adults is a double of 105, 210. So once you got the adult ticket, you should know what's the reservation. So if adult is 210, the reservation cost should be $6. All right, so that's about it for chapter 6. Basically, chapter 6 is a lot of practice. So after this, we will do some revision questions.